A few years ago, my wife and I got an incredible deal on this fixer-upper, but it hasn't come without its fair share of problems.
Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, we recently discovered that a hallway pipe hidden behind some trim had a teeny tiny pinprick leak for who knows how long.
It's a little overwhelming.
Upon review, we discovered that water had leaked under the floors and the bathtub of our nearby bathroom, under the floors in the hallway and the nearby pantry, and maybe most depressing, water was found under the floors in the brand new office that we just finished renovating. Which of course meant that the flooring in this region of the house all needed to be torn out. But there's only one problem with that. Our current flooring has been discontinued. And that means that unless we want to have a really awkward patch in the middle of our house, we need to replace the flooring in our entire house.
And thanks to Florette for sponsoring today's video.
So that's what we're doing in this week's video, and I wish I could say that the problem stopped there, but unfortunately, we are about to find out one of the biggest problems with this house yet, and it's one that could have the highest price tag yet. So join my DIY wife and I for the adventure as we continue to renovate this 1960s fixer-upper and attempt to stay sane.
Today was an exciting day. Our new flooring was finally getting delivered.
Little did we know that this hot, humid morning was about to turn into a training session. The delivery company didn't realize our driveway was so steep and they would have brought a buggy, but instead we helped them move nearly 3,000 feet of flooring up a steep driveway. It was definitely a sweaty job, and we got a bunch of black stuff on our hands. How many more we got?
Pink one.
Yeah, really making us work for this one, huh? But in the end, we got it done, only to realize we had another big job on our hands. There's just a little job in front of us, you know, just about 2,500 square feet of flooring. It's no big deal, right?
Unfortunately, there was rain in the forecast, which meant we needed to move all of this flooring safely inside, one box at a time.
The morning's events kind of felt like they had turned into an unexpected gym workout.
Getting our workout in for the day, you know?
But we were doing our best to keep high spirits.
Can you take me higher? We're like a fifth of the way there.
After we finished unloading the first pallet, we moved on to pallet number 2. Oh yeah, these are so deceptively heavy. Yes. They do not look that heavy.
And if the 80% humidity wasn't enough, the hot sun started to come out as well.
No, sun.
Sun, go away.
Hey, just when you thought you're done, you are not. And this morning's unexpected training session was starting to get to us.
I can't get it. I'm tired.
So onward we went to pallet number 3.
2 pallets down, and we're moving on to the next one, folks.
Andrea needed a little bit of motivation, and so she opened a few boxes.
I really wanted to see this. I'm opening it. Oh my gosh. I got so excited when I saw they have like already made stair treads. How cool is this?
That's sweet.
Isn't that crazy? And it even has like that wraparound part there.
That's beautiful.
Wow. This is gonna make redoing the stairs way easier.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this, and these are so nice.
We quickly handled the pallet of stair treads and moved on to our next task.
So we've moved on to the tile. This humidity is something special. Going for 3. Yes.
So after a long morning of unloading flooring, we kind of ended up with a mess. And a short time later, our flooring crew showed up for the next big phase of this project.
Even though we've installed flooring in 3 homes before, including this one, we decided to hire out the job this time because it is a massive undertaking and we already have some other pretty big projects going on.
Step 1 was for the guys to move all of the furniture out of the way in the living room and remove all of the existing flooring. This meant that we had to use our dining room and kitchen as a staging room to move everything out of the living room to tear up flooring. But once the living room was clear, these guys worked lightning fast.
And this was not exactly a simple task, as moving some of these larger pieces of furniture meant emptying out these pieces of furniture.
Progress on floors seems to go either lightning fast or slug slow, and removing all the stuff out of this bookcase was one of the slower tasks. But eventually, we got it cleaned out. As the guys finished up in the living room, we moved on to the dining room and started cleaning out Andrea's giant custom cabinet. And although it looks fast on film, it actually took us quite a while. Final item.
After completely emptying the entire cabinet, I went ahead and removed the glass doors, as these make up a pretty significant portion of the weight of this cabinet. This will make it much easier to slide this entire cabinet out of the way.
And after getting everything cleared out, we kind of had our own decor store right there in the kitchen.
Look at my shop here.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't know if we should ever move.
After emptying out the dining room cabinet, it was time to check on progress in the living room.
How are we feeling?
When you're used to like doing all the work with 2 people, even though it's a mess, it still doesn't feel like overwhelming because it's so nice. We're hiring somebody else partly because this is such a massive job, and second because insurance is covering the cost of at least the downstairs flooring, and so yeah, it'll be a ton of work. I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I've mentally prepared for a week for the whole house, but I'm like, it's just a week. We can do that. It kind of feels like we're moving, but really we're just moving stuff back and forth from room to room. I'm excited to see them start going in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and attempt to slide this big piece into the kitchen because the floors run this way. So really that's the only way to go.
As Andrea got this piece detached from the wall, the guys started some of the loud work in the living room. Are they looking at my glutes?
Wow, this wall looks really boring without your big beautiful shelf there.
And finally, our crew was ready to start installing the brand new floors.
All right, while they are in there working hard installing those beautiful floors, I thought we would take a quick minute to tell you why we went with this flooring. So number one feels like the obvious to me, but these floors are beautiful. The color is so similar to our old flooring, which is exactly what I wanted because I have designed our entire house around that kind of medium tone wood flooring, and so I know that this Kingswood color will look beautiful with everything that I already have in my home. Plus, if you remember, we have actually used this exact same flooring in another house that we've done for some friends of ours. So I've seen the flooring installed. They've had it for a couple of years now, so we know it's durable, it's beautiful. And if you don't want this same Kingswood color, we have used their lighter Soho flooring in another house, and it was absolutely beautiful. If it worked with all of my decor, I would have used it because I loved it so much, but there really are several good options to choose from, and so get a sample kit, test out some different colors, and I'm pretty positive there's probably one that works in most spaces. We also picked these floors because their luxury vinyl plank collection is 100% waterproof, plus they're extremely durable with either a 20 mil or 40 mil wear layer, which is 3 times the industry standard. Lastly, I also love that Floret is a direct-to-consumer brand, which just means that you're skipping the middleman and you're also skipping that middleman markup. They're extremely affordable for the quality that you're getting, and if you've shopped for flooring at all and you start comparing prices, you will see that very quickly. And since Floret is sponsoring today's video, they've given us a discount code for half off of their sample kits. If you want to take a look at the colors, just use code DIYWIFE We'll put that in the description, and I'll link the flooring that we used as well. All right, now I can hear them working in there, and I kind of want to go see how much progress they made.
Let's do it.
It was really exciting to see so much progress happening without us being the only ones making the progress.
And honestly, it was pretty incredible to watch these guys work, as they're a crew of 3 and do this kind of stuff every day, and so they were lightning fast. And incredibly, these guys had already moved the piano, they'd already moved the bookshelf, and were almost finished with the living room. But after a long, sweaty, loud morning, it was time to go get lunch. So we're giving ourselves a little break here, a little dose of respite, because there's a lot going on in our house right now.
And it's like almost 11:30 and I haven't eaten yet because our refrigerator's been blocked now since I got back.
All right, back there. A little hard to get to, you know? We went out to lunch partly to get a break from the noise, at least we thought.
What do you think about this outdoor seating? Huh?
I think it's great. I think I prefer car noise to people.
While we ate a nice brunch, we counted our blessings.
So how amazingly good does it feel to have someone else installing the floor and making progress while you're away from home?
It just makes me so happy. I feel like words just can't describe. We've installed a lot of flooring in the past, and it feels really good to hire somebody else to do it this time.
Well, this will be fun. We'll get to go home, see how much progress they've made, and
Start moving
things. Look at that, babe. Progress.
When we got back from lunch, we moved on to the playroom and started getting everything off of the floors.
And then from there, Andrea couldn't help herself, and we started moving furniture back into place in the living room. And then Andrea went into Joanna Gaines mode, where she placed and replaced the rug until it was perfectly centered.
And what mom would miss this opportunity to finally get to vacuum under these heavy couches while they're moved out of the way?
Then again, it was time for musical furniture as we moved everything out of the dining room and into the living room to get ready to tear out floors in the dining and kitchen space. And once again, we had to marvel at the speed of our guys. And little did we know that this would kick off a very loud and very wild series of events, which would begin taking us by surprise again and again, and go on much longer than expected.
It's not good, huh?
So the guys were finishing up demoing downstairs.
Yes.
They called me in. I walked in and I knew what the problem was immediately because I could smell it. But as soon as they pulled up all that flooring, especially like in our playroom, there was so much growth under it and it smells so bad. So we masked off that room. We called a mold specialist out, got him out here immediately. He ran a bunch of tests and confirmed that there is a lot of mold growth all in our playroom, and unfortunately there is growth all inside of our air conditioning intake over here. So it's literally been like sucking up into our AC and blowing into our bedroom and the playroom for who knows how long.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm like, that's why we've been coughing for so long.
Gosh.
I'm glad it hasn't been blowing in the kids' bedrooms because that side of the house is a whole separate AC, thankfully. So the mold specialist has written up an entire remediation protocol that we've now sent to our remediation company, and we're waiting on that estimate while we also work on fixing some of the water issues that are causing the mold problems in the first place.
So here is the main issue. This room back here is an add-on prior to our time. Like, we didn't do this, and the way that they built the drainage for it was not correct, and so water is going under the wall through the foundation there and into that room. But we don't have flood insurance because we're not in a floodplain, so that means this is technically not covered by insurance. So we are the proud recipients of a job not well done, and now we have to pay to get it done.
So now, before we can even start dealing with any of the mess inside, we need to figure out the drainage issue outside. And so we are calling a concrete and drainage specialist to see what it's going to look like to remove some of this concrete, put drains in, and see if there's a way to solve that problem first.
Yay.
But we didn't actually have much time to sit around and think about it because we had a trip to make.
Where are we going again? What are we doing?
For a second, I was like, wait, where am I going? I was like so on autopilot. It's a good thing that autopilot takes me to Lowe's.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
Your autopilot would probably take us to Chick-fil-A. It's a good thing I'm driving.
You jerk.
It's only 5 pieces, and I need at least 25.
Holy heck. These were some of the most expensive fettuccine noodles I'd ever purchased, but a job is a job.
after we loaded up all of the baseboards and grabbed a few extra supplies, we were off to see if we could fit all of this in our minivan.
As unlikely as it seemed, our hopes were high in the minivan.
We're about to really test out this whole clown van and see if we can fit these 12-foot baseboards. I know we can fit a single one in there, but I don't think we can fit 25 of them.
This is not looking good for me later.
Take that.
All right, bring her in.
And after successfully loading everything, it was time for the ultimate test to see if the door would close.
So this is what we're working with. Hopefully this shuts. So where am I supposed to sit again?
In the car seat.
Oh, awesome.
Something about riding in the back seat just brings out the kid at heart.
Mom. Mom.
Hey, get the car seat out. You can't really ride in that.
No.
You're too big.
No. Mom, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Can we get Chick-fil-A?
I just made you lunch.
Mom, I've got to go bad. Like now. I got to go now. Actually, I just went. I don't have to go anymore.
How was school?
It was good.
What was the best part of your school day?
Leaving, going home. He hit me. He's still looking at me. They're making all kinds of weird noises and breathing loud.
Once we got home, we unloaded everything to get ready for painting. Don't bang them into anything. It's coming out of your paycheck if you do. While Dean was coaching soccer practice, I took it upon myself to go ahead and set this all up. And I didn't film any of it because I don't do that. You know what? That's boring. Look, you just lay some tarps out, you put the baseboards on it, you get the paint in your paint sprayer, and then you spray it. This is gonna be really boring because you know what color I'm painting all of these white baseboards?
Green.
White.
Oh, excellent.
Can you tell which one I started painting?
No.
Oh, what? Is it unplugged?
Is it gonna work this time?
Maybe.
Andrea thought she was on her way to the finish line, but not quite yet. We needed one more hiccup.
Oh no!
Where are you going?
I'm getting pliers because it's clogged and I can't turn my nozzle without pliers now.
One of my favorite things about Andrea's workflow is her choice of work shoes.
You got your paint shoes on?
Yeah, I didn't want to get paint on my sandals. All right.
And finally, she was able to finish off painting these baseboards.
All right, that's it.
Nice.
Then, after letting things dry for a few hours and blowing them off, it was time for coat number 2. But as quickly as she finished, we had to hurry up and get everything into the garage because there was rain on the way. And then the following day, our crew was back and ready to install baseboards in the entire house. But it was a little noisy.
The kids have taken refuge outside. Alright, so it's Lowe's trip number 99 or whatever we're on now. I'm actually running to get more baseboards because somehow we're already out of baseboards, which is a little mind-blowing. And as if we just needed a little more drama, Andrea's hip has been hurting again, so I'm making a solo run here, which is always a high efficiency move when you send Dean to Lowe's, you know? But the guys are absolutely crushing it. Andrea's getting some rest. He's moving things around in rooms as they finish up in rooms, and I'm gonna go grab some baseboards now.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
Buddy, I'm back. Let's go.
Look at that beauty, would you?
And I'm no pro, but I had high hopes that this was gonna be a fast trip.
I literally know exactly what I'm getting, so this should be really fast and easy. Hey, what am I getting again? So he checked me out in the back, so I could just skip the line up front. How good is that? We've been coming to this Lowe's for how long? We didn't even know there was a register in the back of the store.
Things were going smoothly, but then I realized I was gonna have to load 12-foot boards into the minivan by myself.
It's gonna be really hard without my partner in crime here. We did it! We're in, boys.
That's perfect.
All right, we are officially in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll close the back door, and this is the test. Yeah! Woo! What are you doing?
After getting home, I got some snuggles and then unloaded everything for, you guessed it, more baseboard painting. After finishing the last set of baseboards, our crew was able to move towards the finish line of this project, but we still had one more curveball to conquer. First, we identified where some of the problem spots were. The primary culprit is this downspout, which drops a ton of water into this area while it's raining. But more than just the downspout, really this whole area along the back of the house is very low, and it collects a lot of water during a heavy rainstorm. Then, after identifying the problem spots, it was time to come up with a plan to fix our drainage problems. And to come up with a workable solution, Andrea had this guy running all over the place, and it was cracking me up. Things were getting to be a bit much, so we decided to take a drive and talk things over.
Oh, baby doll. Well, how are you feeling about this whole conversation?
Usually projects are like, wow, we're gonna take this space that needs some work and we're gonna make it like so beautiful,
Yes.
and that's exciting.
Right.
This is like, we're gonna take this space that's already beautiful and we're gonna tear it up and we're gonna spend a whole bunch of money and we're gonna maybe make it look almost as good as it did before.
We're gonna spend a lot of money to get it back to square one.
That's what's happening.
These projects aren't fun.
So in the end, there are still a lot of unanswered questions for this project, and we are even further from the finish line than we initially thought. But on the bright side, it was time to head back home because the guys were finished with the flooring and we got to take our first look at the finished product.
Let's go look at these new floors.
They're so pretty. Looks so good.
Well, how amazing does it feel to have flooring finished in our house, baseboards finished in our house, and these things look beautiful.
It feels so good. I'm glad to be past that, I've got to be honest. But the floors look incredible. The planks are so much wider than our old planks, and I feel like it just gives it a more expensive, elevated look overall. And then with the baseboards in too, I don't think I realized like what a difference that would make, seeing the baseboards in with the finished floors, because that's, I feel like, where it went to just like another level. I think my favorite feature that I wasn't expecting is that the step down into our living room matches our floors now, because for the longest time it was just a stained stair tread that we did before, because we couldn't get a matching stair tread with our old floors, and now it matches perfectly and it looks so good.
Well, I think my favorite feature, and this is not about looks, is just that it's water resistant. I mean, we've had so many times where the kids spill water or some kind of liquid on the ground, and then you discover it the next day and the floor is already swelling, and it's kind of stressful. So there are definitely times when I'm like walking through the house at midnight, like getting a drink, and I'm like, oh no, there's a water spot on the floor, I gotta get it. So it just feels good. It feels reassuring to be like, hey, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine.
And just as a reminder, if you wanna get one of their sample kits to check out the colors, you can get it for half off if you use our code. It's DIY Wife Florette.
And then let's talk about the mold.
It's still a situation.
It's still a situation.
It's gonna be a situation for a while, I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna be out of our bedroom for a while. The playroom's gonna be out of commission for a while. The bills are still coming in. We're trying to figure out what the total is on that bad boy.
We are gonna try and file an insurance claim, and we'll see. We're not sure if it can get covered because some of the water is not from the drainage issue, but who knows? We'll see.
But I feel like it would be fair to say that God always has some sort of crazy plan. And if we look back, our first big leak actually turned into a brand new kitchen. So that was a win. And then the second time around, we had a massive hailstorm, which actually turned into a new roof, new paint, new gutters, and even a totally redesigned sunroom. Because at first glance, it appeared to be bad news, like the sunroom was not up to code, but then insurance covered it, and we got to do this beautiful room. So, you know what? I think we're in good hands.
And either way, I am glad that we uncovered the mold issue.
Yeah.
And that we had to replace all of our floors to begin with, because that has literally been blowing into our room while we sleep every night. And I'm like, we've had like chronic cold issues for months now. And so as big of a headache as it is right now to deal with, I'm really glad that we're getting it taken care of, even if it takes us a little while to figure out how to pay for it.
Absolutely. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned as we get back into the bathroom renovation. There's a lot of progress happening. It is incredibly messy in there, but we're on the way to something really beautiful, and we'll catch you in the next video.
What are you doing?
Huh? What do you want me to say? I'm about to paint.
I want you to
paint you. That would be bad.
use the microphone, please.
This is Andrea Davis coming to you from the Davis backyard, and we're about to do some painting.
What are you doing?
I'm filming you driving to lunch.
I guess I normally drive so I can film, but look at you.
No, I normally drive, so you can film.
Yeah. I didn't say that right, did I? All right,
You look like a minivan, Dad.
That's enough. You got it. You nailed it. Thank you.
What am I filming?
I don't, babe, just general shots of us driving. Just show the people that we're committed.
General shots. What kind of instructions is that?
Just.
What are you doing?
Yawning.
Okay.
Just saying the word makes me feel like I need to yawn, man.
Oh, wow. This is kind of our life right now. But at least the floors look great.